Let's talk about if statements in Java. Hello everyone, this is Ali Reza. Welcome to the Mentor Code Lab. We know that Java has some logical conditions and operations. However, if we want to do different things based on different results of these operations, we need something that is called if statements. Let's give you an example. Let's say that we have a person, okay? We are asking for his age. So this person has an age. Now we want to do a decision making. If age is greater than, for example, 40, we will fail that person from participating in some exam, for example, okay, or activity, whatever. If the age is equal to 30, then we want to warn the person that, hey, if you want to participate, we will allow you, but you are right on the edge of being in danger. Do you want to participate? And if the age is smaller than 40, we will accept the person. Okay. Now let's change it. If age is smaller than 40 and age is greater than 35. Okay. So here we will say if age is less than 35. So if the age is between 35 and 40, smaller or equal, greater or equal, then we will warn. If it's greater than 40, we will fail. If it's less than 30, we will accept him directly into the program. Okay, so how do we do that? Let's ignore the part that we need the person to type his age into our application. We will directly say that, hey, we have an int called age equals to something. And let's start with 45. How can we make sure that we are failing? This is where we are using if statements. Now, if statements are normally like this, it will start with if and the condition goes inside the parentheses, then we have open and close curly braces. However, if your result handling happens in one single line, you can ignore these curly braces. We will take a look at it later. Here inside the parentheses, we are doing logical or comparison operators. So we say age is greater than 40. Okay. If age is greater than 40, we want to say system.out.println. Here we are failing the person. Okay. Now, as I said, if your statement here is one single line of code, you can ignore these curly braces. You can even put a space and put this on the same line. I don't like it. I always put my result handling in a new line. Sometimes I even use the open and curly braces for a single line, especially when I think that I may come back and add some code on top or bottom of this single line later. Now, how about the rest of them? Well, you can say if, again, age is less than or equal to 40 and age is greater or equal than 35. Okay, if this is the condition, we want to print something else. We want to say warning. And finally, we want to say if age is less than 35, then we want to say accept. So this is a simple case, isn't it? Let's run the application. Remember, age is 45, so it's greater than 40. We will see failing as the result. If we say that age is 39, now we should see warning and fall into this condition. Here we go. And if we say it's 29, now it's less than 35, so it will accept. And that's exactly the result. Because the condition checking is handling everything. However, what we did right now is a very bad practice in programming because each time the program is running, it will check all three cases, regardless of the result of the previous check. For example, if my age is 45 and this check succeeds, we really don't need to check these two. So basically, we want to say if age is greater than 40, do something. Else, we want to fall into this section. If age is not greater than 40, only then do something else. And again, here we say, hey, if age is between these two numbers, do something. Now, when we hit this line, we are sure that age is less than 35, logically. So we can say else. If you run the application with different numbers, you get the correct results right now. I can change this logic a little bit. I can say, hey, if age is greater than 40, do this. Else, if age is this, do this. Okay. Else, do that. What did I do? I said that, hey, if age is greater than 40, fail. Else, immediately check if age is between these two numbers, 1. Now, when I hit this line, I'm sure that age is not greater than 40. Age is not between these two lines. So logically, age is less than 35. So I will accept. Again, if you run this application, it works correctly. So remember, we had 3 different ways of writing it. One, we had this whole section inside this else. This way, we are just using some logical flow. Which one is the correct one? The first case was a bad practice. However, both these cases are acceptable. See, both these cases are acceptable as a good practice, this section or this section. So which one is a better one? It totally depends on the flow of your logic and what you are doing. If inside this block of code, you need to do more than this, for example, you want to print something or do some logical stuff on top, then you check the final result. Well, this section will happen all the time when the age is not above 40. For example, if we want to print that, hey, we are less than or equal to 40, okay, then we want to check if we are between the numbers or we are less than 35. So this section happens all the time when age is not greater than 40. If we wanted to do this in this scenario, we had to put this print in 2 places. And we want to avoid multiple repetitive code. So in this scenario, using the top situation is a better coding, especially if this section is a little bit more than one single print. And one extra case that this is a tangible solution on top is that when this logical section, the second logical section, is more involved than just one if-else. For example, if we have to find 5 or 6 different conditions here, yes, we could do it like putting 5 or 6 else ifs, but hey, it's again one way of doing it. And these are called nested ifs, by the way. So we are nesting ifs inside each other. For example, here we could say if age is greater than or equal to 35, we will put system.out.println above 35. Else, actually, above, let's say 38, 37, okay? So 37, and here we say below 37, just like that. And then we have another system out print one. For whatever reason, we are hitting here, we are checking another condition. Now, if we want to do it like this, I will have to, again, nest this if statement inside here. There is another way around it, but it's really ugly because if I don't want to do it, then I will say, hey, if it's greater than or equal 37, and then I have to copy this and say, hey, if it's less than 37, but greater or equal than 35, and then I have to print this section in here and this section in here. So as you see, there are different ways of using your logic flow, and there is no right or wrong way of nesting your if statements. It totally depends on your taste and your understanding of programming. Normally, people prefer this one because if they have to write it like this, it means that, hey, I can do some nesting of my logic and it's much more readable in many people's eyes. However, I had met some people that really like this style. I personally am against using repetitive codes all over the place. So I will prefer nesting myself. And actually, let's remove this one and let's just run the application and take a look at that. There we go. And it says, hey, take a look at the logic. It's 39. So it will fall into the else. It says, hey, it's less than or equal to 40. That's okay. Then 39 is inside here again. So we are not seeing this accept if you look, but 39 is above 37. So this will happen. This will work. So we will see above 37. And finally, we fall to this line and see warning. So this is the flow of your logic. This is called flow of the logic. Remember, sometimes you have errors in your application. The console is not yelling at you. There's no errors, there's no warning, there's no game errors or application errors or nothing. However, when you are working with your application or playing your game or whatever, you see that something is not working correctly. Something is wrong. For example, let's say that you have a game and you're hitting the D key and you're waiting for your character to move toward right. Either it's not moving or it's moving in the wrong direction. These situations are where you will sit back and read the order of your logic and order of your math. It's really important to know how to do it. It needs a little bit of practice. So how do we look at the order of math? Well, go back and take a look at the math video. But when it comes to logic, it's simple. We find the first logic and we will try to repeat the scenario in our head. For example, the first one says if the key is A. Okay, it's not A. Then we are fitting inside here. So we are in here. Now, let's say that if the key is D, so yes, the key I hit is D. So I will fit inside here, and then I will go one after another and take a look at the flow of my logic. Remember, there is something called debug mode. So if I put a dot here, take a note. I clicked on the left side of this line on the line number, and this red dot appear. If I run this now, take a note, the application didn't print anything. And it stopped right on this line, showing a check mark on my breakpoint, highlighting the line, and it's showing some values to you. So now I can use these buttons to navigate through my application. Right now, I know that, hey, I hit this point. So I didn't fall into this if statement. It says that age is equal 39. Okay, we were asking for greater than 40. It's not. Then we are hitting here. And I can go and step over each section or step into if I want to. And you see that, hey, I hit the internal logic. I hit the system out.print. So now I know that this part is not gonna work. And then you suddenly jump to the warning section and you see that these are grayed out, means that, hey, we will never hit here. And then we go out of the application and then finished. We will come back and take a look at debugging in detail. However, learning how to use debug mode is critical for any program. Don't forget that. And using the debug mode, you can easily look into the logic of the application and the flow of your logic. However, sometimes when you have things like this, and if you are nesting the logic here using parentheses and stuff like that, then you will suddenly see a jump. You won't understand what did happen. Then you need to come back to this line and sit back and read the logic yourself and understand the order of the logic. Then you will understand what is going on. So again, you can go back to the video of the operators. I'm talking about order of logic, order of operators there, and you will use everything there. Again, anything that you are using in the if statement is a comparison or a logic state. Again, you go back to that video and you'll find everything there. However, let's talk about the last section. It's really easy. if you don't want to have few lines of code making our life hard. For example, we want to say if a is greater than 40, system without that print line, let's say above 40. And else, whatever the case is, I don't care. I just want to say less than or equal to 40. Okay, this will work. Of course, we will get to this section. However, there is another way of writing this, and it is called shorthand if statement, or most people call it ternary operator. Ternary operator is like this. We say a string result, okay, equals to. Now we want to check if age is greater than 40. So we are doing a comparison here. If that is the case, so we are questioning, is it the case? If the answer is yes, we want to assign a value. If the answer is no, we want to assign another value. And finally, the system outprint the results now. This is called ternary assignment or ternary operator. So ternary operator works like this. We are asking for a condition. If the condition is true, so expression true. Here we use expression false. Okay, if I run the application now, you will see less than or equal 42 times because these two basically are behaving like each other. Another way of using a ternary is like this. I will say, hey, I will accept this ternary right inside here. So I'm not assigning it to any values or any variables. I'm directly checking it. And I will say something like this. Let's make it interesting. Age is plus this, and it will work. Because now I'm saying that, hey, I want to print something, but then the computer will come and solve this internal parentheses, and it says, hey, we have a ternary here. Is age greater than 40? If yes, I will put this section inside this parentheses and doing the concatenation. If no, I will use this section, the second section inside the parentheses, and I will concatenate it to this. So if I print it now, you will see age is, and then the result of ternary inside here. Now, some people like to pipe the whole ternary in one line. I myself do this. I will break the ternary into 3 lines. The first line is the condition. The second line is the true statement and true expression, and the last line is the false statement. Remember, you can nest these ternaries. For example, in here, I can say, hey, is age greater or equal to 37? If yes, then I want to say greater equal 37. If no, I want to say less than 37. And it will work. And again, it's a ternary inside a ternary. It's just like nesting if statements. So we are asking, hey, if it is true, then do this. Else, if this true, do this, else do this. So it's a nested if statement written in ternary. Again, here, I can ask if age is smaller than 35. If yes, then we want to put less than 35. If no, we are saying okay, above 35. Again, I nested another if statement inside this statement, and this one is inside this statement. The whole thing is 3 ifs nested one inside the other one. If you know how to use ternaries, for example, some people put it like this. If it is that, then this. And this. So they know that, hey, we are just using ternaries, and some people even do this. I highly recommend against it because yes, it will compile, it will work, but later down the road, if you come back and read your code, you will be confused. However, when you break it like this, even after 50 years, when you come back and read it, you know that, okay, I'm nesting these ternaries inside each other, and that's that. So if I print it, right now I'm 39, so I will have this greater than or equal 37. If you like these videos, please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and turn on that bell so that when I publish a new video, you will get informed. Have fun, everyone. Bye.